The Chief Registrar of the High Court of South Africa, Gauteng Division Pretoria, has confirmed that it never issued a rehabilitation order for Tshwane Executive Mayor Dr Murunwa Makwarela. Yesterday, Makwarela provided the city manager with a document as proof that he's been rehabilitated. In a statement, the Office of the Chief Justice says the matter will be referred to the Office of the Directorate for Priority Crimes Investigations.
And then also just on the face value of the document, there's a number of things. The registrar's clerk then also came and said that they never issued that certificate. So currently there's a number of things that leads us to believe that Murunwa Makwarela is indeed not a rehabilitated insolvent. We have been calling for him to resign and vacate his seat as soon as possible in order for us to be able to stabilize the political circumstances in the city so that we can continue to deliver services for the people. We are also asking for Lusufi, who was seen an hour before Murunwa Makwarela accepted his nomination. He was seen speaking to Makwarela. We are asking him to keep his distance and to keep his constitutional obligation and not go towards his party standards and does what his party wants him to do, but that he rather also insists that Murunwa Makwarela steps down. Thank you. Yes.
One would also ask, why now? You know, he was part of your coalition. Why did you not see that as the coalition? Because some are saying that it's even you in this coalition who have leaked this out and you were aware of the situation, and hence why we are in this kind of a predicament. Why now are you raising these issues when clearly some people would say that you actually knew about Makwarela's problems?
It's quite ludicrous to expect of the DA or any other party in the coalition to be able to know and to vet candidates of other parties. It is the responsibility of each party to vet their own candidates and to ensure that their candidates are valid to hold office. It then falls on the IEC and the municipal manager to take it from there. When you are in a coalition, there's a level of trust, and we are not going to go around checking each other and our candidates. Every party has got that own responsibility for themselves. After Murunwa Makwarela was nominated as the mayor and was elected and did his maiden speech, a whistleblower reached out to the DA, whereafter we, as soon as possible, wrote to the city manager to ask him to investigate the matter.
We are also hearing now that Dr Murunwa Makwarela has resigned. He has resigned as a councillor and he's resigned as a mayor. Your reaction as a coalition?
I've heard that. I've not seen the document. Not at this point that we'll trust any document. We'll probably have to speak to the author of a document himself. But yes, I have been informed of that as well. And I am then very glad that Murunwa Makwarela did what is best for the city, stepped aside and allow us to elect a new mayor so that we can move forward in delivering services.
From the Joburg Post, if indeed the mayor has resigned, will you still be going forward in charging, him for, whatever you're charging him for?
Well, just because he's no longer mayor doesn't mean he's no longer a fraud. If there is a case of fraud against them, then the police needs to investigate it and find him guilty if needed. Derek, do you want to comment? Derek, come stand here.
Thank you. Okay, you're ready? All right, I'm Derek Sundat from Action SA. We are here part of the coalition, and the coalition has made an agreement this morning that we must lay a charge against the former mayor, and that's where we are here at the police station to do so. We as Action SA are very, very concerned about corruption in any level, and therefore we are taking the stand to come up and do what we are doing at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. And then just lastly, Saki Deploy from the Freedom Front.
Okay.
From the Freedom Front Plus, we realize that it's our obligation to report fraud in the city of Tshwane. We are here as a coalition to have a clean government, to direct the city, to govern the city with honest people, and that's why we have to continue with laying charges now. And then we are looking, going forward, to work against any kind of fraud that's in our midst, that's like a cancer in the city of Tshwane. We really need to start, and we are starting afresh now, and we're going to make this city to be really look like the capital of South Africa. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. There, of course, as we have been just informed that the Tshwane Mayor, Dr Murunwa Makwarela, has since resigned. This, of course, following all the controversy that we have been seeing, that after that controversial rehabilitation certificate that he handed over yesterday to the city manager, Johan Metler. So in less than 24 hours after being reinstated, he is no longer the mayor again. It now remains to be seen what is the criminal justice process that will follow. Of course, the DA, the multi-party coalition, has already started that process by laying a criminal charge here at the Brooklyn police station for fraud. It would be interesting to hear what those who voted him into power, of course the EFF, the ANC, those are political parties that were instrumental in bringing him to the helm of the capital city. How do they now respond to this? But the other is, of course, now we have to await the election of a new mayor. You would know that before Dr Murunwa Makwarela became the mayor, the DA, the multi-party coalition, had already nominated Celia Brink to be their, of course, mayoral candidate, and so far they're saying they're still going with him, meaning that he is possibly going to be the next Tshwane mayor. But while he perhaps gears up to take over the reins in the capital city, Dr Makwarela finds himself in more hot water than he probably could have ever imagined. Now that the wheels of justice are obviously turning against him, it would be interesting to find out how exactly is he going to deal with this matter. This morning he addressed the media. He sounded very confident, saying that he has done nothing wrong. He stands by his certificate that he handed over. Also talking about the fact that service delivery needed to be prioritized. He also appealed on the media to at least allow the investigations to take the necessary processes and for the courts to do their work. And I must say, in just a few hours, the whole story has actually turned upside down, and he has subsequently resigned. What is going to happen next? We understand that the multi-party coalition is saying that they're going to leave no stone unturned. They want action. They want the law to take its course. They want him to get arrested. So we are waiting to see. The Congress of the People also want to address the media just to talk about that. Of course, they too have to replace him in council, as of course he no longer can represent the party, as he officially, we can say, will of course also be fired out of COPE, as well, as we now have learned that his rehabilitation certificate that he issued is fake. It is not recognized by the High Court Registrar.
Patricia, very interesting and fast-moving story indeed. And I'm wondering about the reputational damage of a small party such as COPE. You know, it was really through this was going to kind of rise up, if you like. And if you do have any information about the Celia Brink, who is he and what do we know about him?
Well, Celia Brink is a 35-year-old young man. He comes from Pretoria originally, from Centurion. He worked in the city of Tshwane before under the Solim Simanga time when Solim Simanga was the Tshwane mayor. Celia Brink first served as a councillor. Thereafter, he was also part of the mayoral committee. He was an MMC under Solim Simanga. And of course, subsequently after that team was dissolved, he then went to work in Parliament. He's been an MP since 2019, and he now obviously is back in the fold of the capital city, ready to lead. Of course, we will have to see what happens in council. Will the multi-party coalition this time emerge victorious and elect him into power, or does the ANC, the EFF, and all the other small parties that are part of that group, do they have perhaps another A card up their sleeves? We saw what happened at the last special council sitting where Dr Murunwa Makwarela was elected. The multi-party coalition went into that council sitting very confident that Celia Brink was going to be the next mayor. They had the numbers, of course, they've got the majority in council, but subsequently, with all the shenanigans that happened after Randall Williams resigned, with the controversy with those two contradictory resignation letters, there was a lot of animosity that was bred, and also some of the DA councillors who felt that they were overlooked for the mayoral position, although they have been part of the Tshwane Council, some of them being MMC. So some of them were left disgruntled, and of course they voted for Makwarela instead of sticking to the multi-party coalition agreement that they had to vote for Celia Brink. So one is not sure how things will happen. Have the multi-party coalition since mended their relationship? Have they sorted out their issues? You saw this past week there was the issue of liar detector test that was, of course, instituted by Action SA and the DA, so that they can get to the bottom of who actually voted for Dr Makwarela, so that they can get those people out and, of course, replace them perhaps with people that they can trust, people that they know would, in this instance, would perhaps in the next couple of days vote for Celia Brink. So it's politics. We're not always sure what is going to happen. We're not sure what are the deals that are being made behind these scenes. But I must say, perhaps for those who voted Makwarela into power, there's a huge embarrassment and, of course, also a huge shame. They were so sure about their candidate, and he did not even last for 2 weeks. Within a space of 2 weeks, it has been controversy after controversy, and now he has left, of course, with a bigger dark cloud now as the police are looking for him.
Patricia Visagie, thank you so much for bringing us up to speed with the story. That's Patricia Visagie, our senior reporter out in Pretoria, has her pulse on the story, moving very, very fast from the certificate not being legitimate to now Dr Makwarela resigning as Tshwane mayor. Moving quite fast, the story, I tell you.